Hi, welcome to you all. Welcome to this winter edition, 2023-2024 winter edition of the Chai Chai Exclusive Tea Club. Here I'm going to present the teas. For those of you who aren't able to join our live Zoom meeting to discuss the teas that we sent out, here I'm going to explain them. And if you're watching this video and you have not received the teas because you're not a member yet, this video will serve to know a little bit more about the kind of teas that we're sharing, and yeah. So let me begin by introducing the teas. This first one, I'm going to actually be making it myself while I'm talking. This first one is comes in a ball shape. This is already open, and but you can take a look here of what it looks like. You can see that it's not homogeneous, right? It's a 2017 wild Chopur from Vietnam, but that lighter tone that you see is wormwood. Wormwood is the same herb that's used to make absinthe. Maybe you've heard of absinthe, or you know absinthe. Absinthe is a digestive. It's also very absinthe itself is a digestive and very strong the way it's taken as an alcohol. But this herb is a digestive. Chopur we know is a digestive. The herb is also very stimulating, and so it makes for a really interesting, very stimulating tea. We think that it's quite rare. It's atypical, this kind of blending. And that's why we're sharing it. We found it and we thought, wow, that's something novel that we've never had before, that I've never had before, and I thought that the Tea Club members would find it interesting. And also its effect, the fact that it's so stimulating and delicious. This blend of a Chopur it's very woody. Vietnamese Chopur is different than Pu'er from Yunnan. Especially in the processing, the fermentation a little bit slower, a little bit longer, and it's done over wood, so you get a lot of wood taste in Vietnamese Chopur, combined with the mintiness and even camphor-like notes of the wormwood, make for a really amazing tea that I just can't get enough of, really. I'm loving it. It's great for the winter. It's great after meals, obviously. And well, if you could see it, it brews a nice dark. You're not gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna tip it over everything. So it's a very deep brown, earthy, medicinal-like tea. Yeah, it tastes like Chinese herbs a bit. A little bit of licorice. It's complex, and of course it handles many steepings. I would brew it. This is a type of tea that I would brew strong. I like it. You can't really overbrew it, I feel, and you really get the effect. It's wonderful. This tea comes from Thai Con Lin in Ha Giang, Vietnam, and this will be what I'm drinking while we're talking here. The next tea, so this for this winter we chose two teas that are competition grade Eastern Beauty teas. There's this one, which I'll speak about first, and while we're at it, I'll show you the second one side by side, which I'll speak about second. So this is the first one we'll talk about. This is the second one. You can see that the leaves are larger in this one, a little bit more crisp when you touch them, and the second one is softer with smaller buds. The one on the first one has larger buds. So they're both Eastern beauties, sometimes called Oriental beauty. Actually, this type of tea has many names. It's sometimes called Bai Hao Oolong, which is like a white tip oolong. It's been called champagne oolong. It's been called a pom pom oolong, which means Aboriginal oolong, because this oolong was done by the Hakka people, or that's how they refer to it. And it's described as having a mishian, the honey aroma, typical honey aroma. Oriental Beauty or Eastern Beauty, Dongfang Meiren, is one of my favorite teas, and it seems like this year was particularly good for the visit of this little jacid, the Jacobiana formosa, which is this little jacid that comes to the leaves in the summer, and it punctures them basically. It like sucks from the leaves the juice. That's how this insect, the insect's attracted to these tea bushes. What happens afterwards is beautiful. That the tea tree itself, or in this case the bushes, the bush itself produces some kind of sweet defensive mechanism to the leaves, and the bugs don't like that and they leave. So when they leave, what's left is that little puncture where they suck the juices of the leaf, and so actually around there it starts to oxidate. So you could say that this type of oolong is interesting because the oxidation process of Dongfang Meiren begins on the bush, and that's unique. Well, the reason for that it's so delicious and has such a wonderful aroma and is so sweet is probably a combination of that defense of against the invader, as well as the processing itself, oolong processing. But you'll see that it's especially sweet. And the reason, so as I say, I love this type of tea. It's really one of my favorites. It's just elegant, especially it's high grade. So what you see with under this name of Eastern Beauty, Oriental Beauty, you see many categories, as with any tea. But as you saw with these, this is top grade, competition grade teas. You'll see there's lots of buds. It's very hairy, lots of colors. Someday it's also called Wusa oolong or 5-color oolong, because it's got grays, it's got whites, it's got browns. It's just greens. It's just very complex in color. Very 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 tippy, and the quality of this type of tea is also dictated by what percentage of the leaves were actually picked, because were actually bug bitten leaves. Now, not all the leaves have to be bug bitten. Just the fact that the tree produces a substance to get rid of the bugs will make the tea, all tea leaves, nice. But the high quality is dictated especially by how many bug bitten leaves are really put into the tea. And the higher grades have more buds, as always, very tippy and very sweet. So I love this tea, and the first one that I showed you, that one is actually produced with the Hard Red Heart varietal, which is actually the same one that's used in Taiwan to make the Tikuanying. It's Yingzi Hongxing. And the second one was the more typical varietal for this, which is Qingqing Damo, sometimes called Qingqing Dapan. And these are Miaoli, the Hakka area, and I think it's really they're both wonderful. Really, what happened is that I couldn't decide between the two because they were so great, but they were complementary. They were different, and I thought it would be really interesting. Also because we love Tikuanying, right? Everybody loves Tikuanying. So hey, what happens when you produce Oriental Beauty with this varietal? What is it like? Often that's not so interesting in itself, except as a novelty, although we like novelties too. But in this case, it really works. It's the fragrance is different. You will find that it's more floral, that one, than the traditional one. It's a little bit more honey-like, a little bit more sweet, but both are delicious. And I couldn't decide which one I like more. I thought they both had their interesting points to share them with you guys. So, hope you love them. And as I said before, if you haven't received these teas because you're not a member, you could sign up and receive spring. The winter selection actually this first tea I showed, I'm out of it. This is what's left because I'm out of. I don't have a full ball to show you, but it came in a ball shape, which is unique and pretty loosely pressed. Anyway, so I can't send out any more winter editions. We're all sold out. But for spring you can receive some other amazing teas. So the fourth tea I'd like to show you is this one. And if you guess it's Hongcha, you're right, it's Hongcha. Red tea, mistakenly called black tea in the West, Hongcha. So this tea is family of the first of these two Dongfang Meirens, these two Eastern beauties. It's family because it's also Mixiang. It's a Mixiang tea, but it's not a Mixiang oolong. In this case, it's Hongcha, which is fabulous and I think really interesting for everybody to discover the sweetness of this varietal as applied to Hongcha. And that tea you can make as bowl tea. You could just put a few leaves in a bowl and enjoy it. It's so sweet and delicate. Everybody just loves it. Very easy to brew. It makes nice bowl tea. Oriental Beauty or Eastern Beauty, I wouldn't put that in bowls. I wouldn't do that as bowl tea because the leaves are so small and the tips are so delicate that they float around a bit and are not pleasant. That I would brew in a proper teapot. Okay, then the next one. This was a tea I found in my summer visit to Vietnam. It's a 2007 show pour from a different area than the first one. This one's from Cao Bo. And this is already, as it's been with the paper off, what it looks like. It's a hard compression, as is often the case in strange shape types, yeah, like the ones that look like chocolate bars or something. They're always hard to press to get into this type of shape, and it kind of looks like a soap, a hotel soap from the 1920s. Very very simple, which I like. It's wonderful. It's like, so first of all, it brews. I would use the whole piece, but I would break it. Or use half. If you use half, it's basically each piece is 9 to 10 grams. It's quite a lot of tea. You want to, if you use the whole thing, it should be for a group of people, and it's fantastic. It brews many steepings. If you break it in half, then also break it first in pieces, so it steeps better from the beginning. And yeah, it's a wonderful tea. I mean, I really love this. So what I really love about Vietnamese show pour, first of all, is the raw material is so fantastic. I mean, you don't really find show pour made with Gushu raw material, old tree raw material from old tea trees. That's always, or usually, I mean, 99% of the time is used for sheng pour, which is more valued in China. And to get somebody to make show pour out of that, in China, it's rare. And in Vietnam, they have so much of this fantastic raw material and not a high demand that they can make really nice show pour with it. And we're blessed. I mean, I felt really lucky to find it, this tea. So I hope you really enjoy it. And another great winter tea. And as is our tradition here for every winter, we always include some kind of tea that's not only special but aged. We like aged tea a lot, and aged tea, is more rare, obviously. This tea is probably around at least 25 years old. So I say it's 25 years old. It's a oolong tea. It's as you can see, it's open leaf like that. It's a striped tea. It's Baozong. It's Baozong, which 25 years ago might have been already like this modern, lightly oxidized Baozong. In fact, probably from that point. But it's oxidized really well over its time, and developed almost like citric notes that are really fantastic. It has a little bit of acidity in the smell, but fortunately that acidity is really just in the leaf itself. And then when you brew it, it brews sweet. It's not wet. There's no wet aging at all to it. It has a nice noble wood flavor, wonderful energy. It comes from Pingling, of course, in Taiwan. And the farmer who made this tea couldn't say which varietal it was for sure. Time had passed and they hadn't marked what it was exactly. So we can only guess. And I can't really guess because over time the tea has transformed so much from a young leaf. I don't know what varietal it is, but it was aged. It was just left. It was just tea that was left that wasn't sold, and it was just kept in a bag aging, and it aged masterfully. So it wasn't aged on purpose and with any kind of special care, except it was cared for. It didn't absorb any other aromas from anything. It was just in its own bag, and just time just did its work and produced now a jam with some plum notes that I love in aged oolong. Very clean taste. As I said, no funk, no humidity, no wet notes. So lovely. And you can post your comments, questions of any of these teas. And if you become a member, every 3 months we send out a wonderful selection of teas according to the season. And then we meet up on a Zoom chat and we talk about it. And then I make a little video like this just to give like a summarize what we talk about in the live chat. And also in the live chat we have the way that you can comment and ask questions about all the teas or other things you want to know more about related to tea, of course. Well, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you again come spring.